There comes a time on this path where the most enlightened thing to do is to accept your own unenlightenment. And in the process of accepting your own unenlightenment, you fully embrace your humanity. Once you fully embrace your humanity, the idea of being enlightened or unenlightened goes completely out the window. As soon as that goes out the window, you are in the best place to be, because now you're able to explore life with true, adventurous, curious, passionate energy. And what happens is we usually think that we must achieve some kind of state, a phenomenal state. Phenomenal meaning anything that is also including thoughts, feelings, perceptions. We think that there should be some change in our perceptions, some change in our physiological structure to some degree, or our psychological structure to some degree. And what we find is that this doesn't actually happen. We think that there are bad feelings and we think there are happy feelings, and we think that enlightenment is to have all of the happy feelings, none of the bad feelings. We resist the bad feelings because of the story that is associated to them. The story associated to the anxiety is, I don't want to get on the flight. There's a resistance there. We are resisting an imaginary future, which makes us resist the current experience. Then excitement. I want to go on the honeymoon. I'm excited. I want to do this. It's an acceptance of what's going to happen. It's still an imaginary future, but it's an acceptance of what's going to happen that makes us accept the current experience. But the anxiety and the excitement are the exact same sensation. So what happens is, because none of the happy feelings come with a story of resistance, and the sad, bad feelings come with a story of resistance, it's the resistance that we suffer from and not the actual feeling. But the issue is that we then look for the opposite feelings to the bad feelings as a sign that we are more or less awakened. And if we have them, we reduce our sense of awakenedness to, oh, look how unenlightened I am, this is how I feel. This is something we have to throw off the table. It makes absolutely no sense, because we're still therefore looking for things in experience to claim whether we are free or whether we're not free. These are conditions on our happiness that we must relieve ourselves from. Because for as long as we're looking to not have sad feelings, is for as long as we're looking to have happy feelings. And if we're looking for happy feelings, then we're not looking for the truth. We're looking to remove our suffering. So the most important thing to see is that the sadness, the grief, the anger, they don't need to be removed. If we want to feel anything in this life, we have to feel everything. So all the feelings that you think are the bad feelings, the unenlightened feelings, they're not unenlightened feelings at all. The only thing that's unenlightened is the fact you want to get rid of them. So enlightenment is your natural condition. You're already enlightened, if we're going to give any term. You're already free. It's the nature of your being. The only difference is there are intermittent moments where you resist your experience. That is what creates suffering. That you're resisting something natural that should be there, that should not be there. And the beauty of it is that you could argue, well, you're saying to get rid of the resistance, the suffering. I'm not saying to get rid of that. Actually, the suffering should be there too. The minute you see that, the paradox is the suffering will disappear. So the minute you accept, the minute you actually allow the suffering and the resistance to take place, it just disappears as a byproduct. It's impossible to accept resistance, because the resistance will no longer be there once you accept it. So you can't actually accept resistance, because the minute it's accepted, there's no more resistance. So we get stuck in this paradox of thinking, I should feel this way and not that way. And I should feel that way and not this way. This is a state-seeking mind that's looking to be okay with itself so long as it feels a certain way. I'll be okay with being free. I will choose to be free so long as everything is perfectly in this comfortable position, and that I don't get too sad, or I don't get sad over these things. Maybe I get sad over that, but not this. Maybe I don't get sad at all, or maybe these things don't affect me, and this will be my definition of enlightenment. It makes absolutely no sense, because then we're still seeking for a state. So we want to be completely okay with our humanity. We want to be completely okay with our unenlightenment. We want to completely be okay with being human. This is the biggest thing that we can come to terms with. It's the only thing we need to come to terms with. Search for truth, not to remove your suffering. Make your desires explorations. Make them adventures. Don't make them ways to change what you feel or who you are. Disentangle the negative feelings from your resistance, in the sense that notice that the thing you find uncomfortable about the negative feelings that you feel is the resistance and not the feeling. It's not the feeling that's the problem. It's that you think the feeling is a problem, which makes you resist it. And it's the resistance that makes you feel the suffering. So once you see that, you can stop worrying about needing to get rid of these feelings, and you can start embracing them. True happiness is not a feeling. It's not something you feel as an emotion. You can be very happy and at peace in the process of grieving. The process of grieving is a peaceful process. It may not be visually peaceful from somebody else's point of view sometimes, but it's a peaceful process. It's a process filled with gratitude, filled with love, and filled with this deep sense of unconventional joy. That is the process of grieving. If we resist that, then yes, it gets infiltrated with blame, shame, guilt, regret, and in some cases, hatred. This is what makes the natural, unconventional joy of grieving seem like a problem, seem like it is something that we should get rid of because it feels uncomfortable. But it's only because we are not allowing the process to unfold, usually because we have then thoughts of resistance that make us regret, blame, shame, and guilt certain things. There's stories of resistance that make us resist the feeling because we don't feel like we should feel this way, or that we don't want to feel this way for some reason because something's uncomfortable in it. It's only uncomfortable because we're not facing it. So you're always in your natural condition. How could you be in any other condition other than that? It's the only one there is. There's just resistance layers on that condition. They're the conditions. So there's like a natural conditionless condition with layers of condition on it. And the conditions are, I will only be free when this happens or that happens, or when I feel this way or feel this thing. When we can completely embrace the entirety of our experience, that's really what true forgiveness is in the ultimate sense. It's to let everything be completely as it is without any desire to change it. If we can give ourselves, therefore, if we take that all the way, we give ourselves the freedom to suffer. That is exactly an expression of our true nature. That is an exact expression of freedom. I hope this video is helpful. I have a retreat at the end of the year. It's happening in December. If you want more information, you can check out the link in the bio in the description. I also have a free community where I help people every single week. If you'd like to join that, I'd love to see you there. Have an amazing day, guys. Take care.